A very good afternoon to everyone. Today we will study about carbohydrate. The first question that arises in our mind is, what is carbohydrate? Carbohydrate is polyhydroxyaldehyde or ketones. Aldehyde group is CHO group and ketones have a CO group and the hydroxy is OH group. When a stretch of carbon has a number of hydroxy groups over it with an aldehyde group, CHO or CO group, ketone group, then it is called as the carbohydrate. In a carbohydrate, the number of hydrogen and oxygen atoms are same, so they are also called as hydrates of carbon. The carbon molecule having the hydroxy group and the hydrogen. So, a carbohydrate has a chain of carbon with hydroxy group, and with it may have an aldehyde group, CHO group or CO group. And the second thing is that the oxygen and hydrogen are same, so they are also called as hydrates of carbon. The carbohydrate is the most abundant biomolecule on earth, and when that carbohydrate is hydrolyzed, it gives a number of products form. On the basis of this product formation, the carbohydrates are classified into monosaccharide, oligosaccharide and polysaccharide. So, carbohydrates are classified into monosaccharide, oligosaccharide and polysaccharides. Now coming to a point that what is a monosaccharide? The monosaccharide is the simplest carbohydrate. It has a single polyhydroxy stretch of carbon with a aldehyde or a ketone group. Means a stretch of carbon having the CHO group or the CO group balanced by the hydroxy group and the hydrogen. Then that stretch of carbon is called as the monosaccharide or simple carbohydrate. Coming to the point that what is oligosaccharide? Oligosaccharide has 2 to 10 monosaccharide units, and all these monosaccharide units are joined together by the glycosidic linkage. We will study in later classes as what is glycosidic linkage. When a number of monosaccharide units are joined together by the glycosidic linkage, then oligosaccharides are formed. These oligosaccharides may be di, tri, tetra, penta, hexa, hepta or octa, depending on the how many number of monosaccharides are attached together or joined together. The most abundant oligosaccharide present on the earth is disaccharide. Next is polysaccharide. What is polysaccharide? Polysaccharides are the carbohydrate having 100 to 1000 monosaccharide units joined by the same glycosidic linkage. These polysaccharides are not sweet in taste, and so they are called as non-sugars. Most of the structures of our body that they are giving the strength and stamina to us are including the polysaccharides. Now some more detail about the monosaccharide. Monosaccharide have a general formula of CnH2nON, where N shows the number of atoms present in a monosaccharide. These are colorless and these are crystalline in nature. They are crystal solids. They are freely soluble in water and insoluble in polar solvent. The most abundant monosaccharide present on the earth is D-glucose. Most of the monosaccharides present on earth, and they are abundant, have a carbon stretch of 3 to 9 in number. Means the stretch of carbon has mostly 3 or 9 carbons. The naming of a monosaccharide include prefix and suffix, where prefix is the number of carbon atoms present in a monosaccharide and suffix is the addition of OSC at the end of it. Example is that pentose. Pentose is a monosaccharide where penta means 5 carbon atoms are present in a monosaccharide having the suffix as OSE. Tetrose is a monosaccharide where tetra means 4 carbon atoms are present and suffix is added, that is OSE. It shows that both of these are monosaccharide. Hexose is the monosaccharide and hexa means 6 carbon atoms are present in hexose and OSE is added as a suffix. So monosaccharides are named based on the prefix and suffix, where prefix is the number of carbon atoms present in the monosaccharide and suffix is addition of the OSC at the end of the prefix. Coming to the classification of the monosaccharide. Monosaccharides are of two types, aldoses and ketoses. Aldoses are the monosaccharide that have aldehyde group. The best example is glucose, where the glucose is aldohexose, means it has a aldehyde group, CHO group, and it has 6 atoms of carbon. Aldohexose, that is a monosaccharide having the aldehyde group, and hexa means 6 carbon. The second example is glyceraldehyde. Glyceraldehyde is a triose. It has 3 carbon atoms and it has a aldehyde group with it. So aldoses have a aldehyde group, and example is glucose and glyceraldehyde, that is a hexose and a triose. The second group is ketoses, where the ketoses have a keto group, that is CO group, C double bond O group, and the best example is fructose. The fructose is a ketohexose. It has a keto group with the 6 molecules of carbon, while the second example is dihydroxyacetone. It has 2 hydroxy group with a keto group, and it is a triose, means 3 carbon atoms are present here. Thus monosaccharides are categorized into aldehyde having aldehyde group or ketone group, means ketoses. Now some more specific points about the monosaccharide. All the monosaccharide except dihydroxyacetone are chiral. A chiral molecule is that molecule that can rotate plane polarized light given by a laser beam into right direction or left direction. That property of that molecule is called as chirality, and that molecule is called as the chiral center. All the chiral molecules of a monosaccharide can have 2 configuration or 2 structures, and these 2 structures, the first configuration is non-superimposable to the second configuration, and both of the structures are called as the enantiomers of that monosaccharide. The enantiomers are those structures of monosaccharide that have 2 structures, means D configuration and configuration. The 2 configuration, when kept over them, they are not superimposed or not the mirror images of each other and called as enantiomer. The reference point for all the enantiomers of a monosaccharides are given by glyceraldehyde molecule. That is the reference point for all the enantiomers of a monosaccharide. A glyceraldehyde molecule have 3 carbon, 3 chiral centers, and it has an aldehyde group and 2 hydroxy group. When both the hydroxy groups are on the right side, then that glyceraldehyde is said to have the D configuration. But when it has one hydrogen and other hydroxy group on the right side and the second hydroxy group is on the left side, then that glyceraldehyde molecule is said to have the L configuration. Both D-glyceraldehyde and L-glyceraldehyde structures, when kept over each other, then they are not superimposable to each other, they are not the mirror images of each other, and they are called as the enantiomer. On the basis of these 2 structures, rest of the enantiomers of monosaccharides are named as D configuration or L configuration. So the reference point is the glyceraldehyde molecule. Now a next question arises in our mind, that what are epimers? Epimers are those common sugars which are closely related. They are structurally same, but when we draw their stereochemistry, their structures, then they are different at a single carbon position. Many common sugars closely related but differ only by stereochemistry at a single carbon atom called as the epimers. The best example include D-glucose and D-mannose, where both D-glucose and D-mannose have a similar structure except the carbon number 2, and D-glucose and D-mannose are called as the epimers of each other. Coming to the cyclic forms of monosaccharide. When a monosaccharide having carbon atoms of 5 or 6 is kept into an aqueous solution or an acidic solution, the monosaccharides form cyclic structures. The cyclic or ring structures may be hemiketal or hemiacetal, where the ketone group of the monosaccharide reacts with the alcohol and form hemiketal, while in hemiacetal form the aldehyde group reacts with the alcohol. The cyclic forms are more stable in the aqueous solution because the cyclic forms have low angle and low eclipsing strain. The cyclic forms that are formed in the aqueous solution or the acidic solution of monosaccharides are named as pyranose or furanose because these cyclic structures have a similarity with the pyran and furan molecules. So, monosaccharide may have a cyclic structure in an aqueous solution, may be hemiketal or hemiacetal, and called as pyranose or furanose. Now let's take the example of a monosaccharide, and further we will see how it forms cyclic structure in an aqueous solution. First we take the example of D-fructose. D-fructose is a hexose sugar. It has 6 carbon molecules. The first carbon has a hydroxy group, the third, fifth and sixth are also having the hydroxy group, while the carbon number second has a keto group. When this D-fructose is kept into an acidic or a aqueous solution, it forms pyranose structure. Pyranose is a 6 carbon compound structure or cyclic hexagonal structure where the carbon number 1 is out of this ring, while the hydroxy group on carbon number 2, 4 and 5 are out of this ring structure, while the hydroxy group on the third carbon is inside the ring structure. This pyranose structure is equivalent to the pyran molecule that has a hexagonal structure. The second cyclic form is furanose, that is a pentagonal structure where the carbon number 1 and carbon number 2 are out of this ring, and hydroxy group on the carbon number 2nd and 4th are out of this ring, while the hydroxy group on the carbon number 3 is inside the ring. This structure is similar to the furan molecule and it is also a pentagonal structure. When a monosaccharide is kept into an acidic or aqueous solution, the two structures, pyranose or furanose structures, are formed, and both of these structures have the similarity to pyran and furan molecule, so they are called as pyranose and furanose. Similarly, the other monosaccharides form the same structure and they are named over these two molecules. The cyclic structures of monosaccharide, that is a pyranose structure or furanose structure, further can be classified into two parts. The 6-membered structure, if we take the example of a glucose molecule, can form two structures, alpha structure or a beta structure. The alpha or beta forms of a glucose are called as distereoisomers or the anomers of each other. The alpha or beta forms are having a different OH group positioning. If the carbon number 1 has hydroxyl group below the plane of this hexagonal structure, then it is called as the alpha form of the glucose or alpha glucose. But if the hydroxyl group of carbon number 1 is above the plane of this hexagonal structure, then it is called as beta glucose. Thus, the cyclic structure of a monosaccharide first forms two structure, pyranose 6-membered structure or furanose 5-membered structure. Further, this 6-membered structure can be alpha form or a beta form of a monosaccharide. Similarly, the furanose structure can be of alpha form or of a monosaccharide or a beta form of a monosaccharide. Thus the cyclic form or the structure of the monosaccharide is complete here. Now coming to the derivatives of monosaccharide. The derivatives of monosaccharide are the structures or the molecules that are formed where one of the group of the monosaccharide is replaced with the other groups and they form a specific structures. It includes glycosides, sugar acids, sugar alcohols and amino acids. The best example studied to be here is amino sugar. Amino sugars are those monosaccharides where the hydroxyl group of a monosaccharide or a sugar is replaced by an amino group or by an acetyl amino group, and it includes the example of D-glucosamine, D-manosamine, D-galactosamine, and these are the basic structures of the bacterial cell wall. Now coming to the structure of amino sugar. In an amino sugar, let's take the example of beta-D-glucose. In beta-D-glucose, when a hydroxyl group present and the carbon number 2 is replaced by an amino group, it forms a amino sugar called as beta-D-glucosamine. Further, when this amino group adds an acetyl group to its COCH3 group, it is called as N-acetyl beta-D-glucosamine, or in short it is called as NAG. This NAG, N-acetyl beta-D-glucosamine, forms the structural component of a bacterial cell wall. With the NAG, there is another amino sugar or the derivative of monosaccharide form the bacterial cell wall, and that is NAM, that is N-acetyl muramic acid, where in the structure of NAG or N-acetyl beta-D-glucosamine, the carbon number 3 adds a group of lactic acid and it forms the NAM. When NAM and NAG are together, they form the polymerization, and this polymerized structure form the bacterial cell wall. Thus the derivatives of monosaccharide is over, and in the next class we will study about the disaccharides. Thank you.